Rabbits because I was remembering something, and I was thinking to myself, if Winter Faces Alone was like, thinking to myself, what do you call it? You know, when you watch TV, you don't expect everything to be like, good. But I forgot what I was saying earlier. I just activating She Was Alone. I'm like, why is it that, you know what I'm saying? People like the folklore is that you claim to have friends when you don't have friends or something like that, or you don't have friends like mine or something like that. When it's like, you don't really feel impressed by like what they say or something like that. So you figure, something like that where it's like, I don't know what to say about that. It's just like it means so fast because, there's a sliding scale of fluidity in what someone calls a friend and what another person calls a friend. You can call someone your friend, but you don't know like his birth certificate name or something like that. And you can call somebody a friend who you don't talk to, but will pretty much save your neck. You know what I mean? And like, so it's the fluidity of what it is, and it doesn't matter. It's a matter of opinion. Well, it's like, it's a matter of opinion because people like folklore is like, yeah, right, whatever, and in turn people can say, in your case, yeah, right, whatever too. So, it's not like a very like one-sided deal of opinions. You know what I mean? So I mean, I was marking outside, of course. Lights on. So there's like a folklore. Oh yeah, since you smoke weed now, right? You smoke medical cannabis. There's like an old a rule beyond my generation that you can sell drugs or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Sell something. People take advantage. You live with your mom and stuff, and you smoke weed. They're like, whatever. So look, listen, what he says there in Cuomo. A relationship with Russia, like, so the dynamics of relationships, so there's no relationship. So, there's nothing, so it's like, some people like, I have no neighbors in that sense. Even when I lived in San Francisco, I had someone neighbors. We talked, exchange whatever, saying just little things and stuff like that. At the same time, I was there for a long time, and a lot of people passed through that I didn't know, came and went. The hostility, is always is there as in here, but it's not like there as in here. There's no comparison. Basically, there's a comparison where it's like, hey, you talk to certain people, I guess, and then you don't such and such. I don't even know what it is, but to me now, as I see it, is like, okay, if there's a hostile situation, then I'm just gonna be hostile. What's the point of being like happy and nice, and then like the next day just litter hostility? You know what I mean, or something like that? It doesn't make sense. And it says, so what's the energy? What's the wasting energy than a grunt like, unless you have personal space and stuff. So I mean, you can call your friends, you can call your own boys, you can call everybody in cent cal. You know what I'm saying? 1 cent cal, and we call it and do whatever you do, and guerrilla tactic or whatever. And the same, you could be expendable too by not even by my notion of a thought where something gets back to you in that way. So you know what I'm saying. So I don't really beyond what I can control, which is my personal space and my family and stuff. You know what I'm saying. And everybody's vulnerable in that sense. You know what I'm saying. So hop out on my world, so hop out on yours. You know what I mean. So. Take all that. So, all the passive aggressive behavior and whatnot. And here's President Putin and President Trump and whatnot. And so the dynamic of it, of what the contrast is what he's talking about. Is there's diplomacy? No, I'm in a start, bro. I'm in a holding, real estate holding where it's like, you know what I'm saying? Anything goes with people who do the chemistry of the thought. There's someone ADD, a bunch of people ADD, you know what I mean? I don't know. It seems like on the other side of the building, on the far side, doesn't seem to have those kind of like non-pleasantries over there. You know what I'm saying? So what I mean, So it doesn't seem that there's I believe random rights exists. You know what I mean? Which is why I keep phone calls to my friends and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And be like, friend, who is you got? Well, the same person who you try to kick out several times or whatnot. Same person you pile up a list on alone about the so-called grievances you have against someone like me. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to one thing. You don't need to check going on my parents' couch because you know what I'm saying? What he's gonna do? Tell him to not open the door or something like that? So I'm just gonna let it go, you know what I mean? And just right now. And so say, hey, you know, I just looked at my Facebook file and I was like, oh yeah, you just had a name. I was like, what about my Facebook file? I'll look at it later, you know what I mean? What difference does it make, you know what I mean? So that's about it, you know, so. And anything, you know, so you look at the relationship with Russia, okay? And look down the outline of it, and they say, "Oh, he's stupid. Oh, he's like sexual, then he's confused or whatever." And something like that. I just gave you a thing to be confused, when really you just like label me as, "Oh, he's homosexual" and stuff like that. And, you know, given that, you know, who are you? You know what I'm saying? I don't even know your name. You know what I'm saying?